Good morning. This is Kip Blaylock with SDG Bible Study. That's the SOLI DEO GLORIA Bible Study coming to you on this Thursday morning, August the 21st, 2025. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is ready for the reading of God's Word this morning as we continue reading from the Everyday Gospel, a daily devotional by Paul David Tripp, the reading from the biblical text and the short devotional reading. This morning, we're going to be in 2 chapters in Jeremiah. We'll be closing out the book of Jeremiah this morning in chapters 51 and 52, and then on to the book of Lamentation. But this morning, we'll finish out the book of Jeremiah. So join me as we read God's Word together this morning. Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus says Yahweh, behold, I am going to arouse against Babylon and against the inhabitants of Leb-Kamah the spirit of a destroyer. I will send strangers to Babylon that they may winnow her and may empty her land to destruction, for on every side they will be against her in the day of her calamity. Let not him who bends his bow bend it, nor let him rise up in his scale armor. So do not spare her young men, devote all her army to destruction. They will fall down slain in the land of the Chaldeans, and pierced through in their streets. For neither Israel nor Judah has been widowed by his God, by Yahweh of hosts, although their land is full of guilt before the Holy One of Israel. Flee from the midst of Babylon, and each of you escape with his life. Do not be silenced in her iniquity, for this is Yahweh's time of vengeance. He is going to render recompense to her. Babylon has been a golden cup in the hand of Yahweh, intoxicating all the earth. The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations are going mad. Suddenly Babylon has fallen and been broken. Wail over her. Take balm for her pain. Perhaps she may be healed. We applied healing to Babylon, but she was not healed. Forsake her, and let us each go to his own country. For her judgment has touched heaven, and lifts up to the very skies. Yahweh has brought about our righteousness. Come and let us recount in Zion the work of Yahweh our God. Sharpen the arrows, fill the quivers. Yahweh has aroused the spirit of the kings of the Medes, because his purpose is against Babylon to destroy it. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh, vengeance for his temple. Lift up a standard against the walls of Babylon. Make strong the watch. Raise up watchmen. Establish men in ambush. For Yahweh has both purposed and performed what he spoke concerning the inhabitants of Babylon. O you who dwell by abundant waters, abundant in treasures, your end has come, the measure of your end. Yahweh of hosts has sworn by himself, surely I will fill you with a population like locusts, and they will cry out with shouts of victory over you. It is he who made the earth by his power, who established the world by his wisdom, and by his understanding he stretched out the heavens. When he gives forth his voice, there is a tumult of waters in the heavens, and he causes the clouds to ascend from the end of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain, and brings forth the wind from his storehouses. All mankind is senseless, devoid of knowledge. Every goldsmith is put to shame by his graven image. For his molten images are a lie, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, a work of mockery. In the time of their punishment, they will perish. The portion of Jacob is not like these, for the maker of all is he, and of the tribe of his inheritance, Yahweh of hosts is his name. He says, you are my instrument of shattering, my weapon of war, and with you I shatter nations, and with you I destroy kingdoms. With you I shatter the horse and his rider, and with you I shatter the chariot and its rider, and with you I shatter man and woman, and with you I shatter old man and youth, and with you I shatter choice man and virgin, and with you I shatter the shepherd and his flock, and with you I shatter the farmer and his pair of oxen, and with you I shatter governors and prefects. But I will repay Babylon and all the inhabitants for all their evil that they have done in Zion before your eyes, declares Yahweh. Behold, I am against you, O destroying mountain, who destroys the whole earth, declares Yahweh. and I will stretch out my hand against you and roll you down from the crags, and I will make you a burnt-out mountain. They will not take from you even a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but you will be a perpetual desolation, declares Yahweh. Lift up a standard in the land, blow a trumpet among the nations, set apart the nations against her. Summon against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Minni, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a marshal against her. Bring up the horses like bristly locusts. Set apart the nations against her, the kings of the Medes, their governors and all their prefects, in every land of their rule. So the land quakes and writhes, for the purpose of Yahweh against Babylon stand, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitants. The mighty men of Babylon have ceased fighting. They inhabit the strongholds. Their might is dried up. They are becoming like women. Their dwelling places are set on fire. The bar of her gates are broken. One runner runs to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to give a message to the king of Babylon, that his city has been captured from end to end. The fords also have been seized, and they have burned the marshes with fire, and the men of war are terrified. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. At the time it is stamped firm, yet in a little while the time of harvest will come for her. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has devoured me and brought me into confusion. He has set me down like an empty vessel. He has swallowed me like a sea monster. He has filled his stomach with my delicacies. He has rinsed me away. May the violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, the inhabitant of Zion will say, and may my blood be upon the inhabitants of Chaldea, Jerusalem will say. Therefore thus says Yahweh, behold, I am going to plead your case and exact full vengeance for you, and I will dry up her sea and make her fountain dry. Babylon will become a heap of ruins, a haunt of jackals, an object of horror and hissing, without inhabitants. They will roar together like young lions. They will growl like lions' cubs. When they become heated up, I will set before them their feast and make them drunk, that they may exult and may sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake up, declares Yahweh. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams together with male goats. How Shishak has been captured and the praise of the whole earth been seized. How Babylon has become an object of horror among the nations. The sea has come up over Babylon. She has been covered with its tumultuous waves. Her cities have become an object of horror, a parched land and a desert, a land in which no man lives and through which no son of man passes. I will punish Bel and Babylon, and I'll make what he has swallowed come out of his mouth, and the nations will no longer stream to her. Even the wall of Babylon has fallen down. Come forth from her midst, my people, and each of you escape with his life from the burning anger of Yahweh. Now, lest your heart grow faint, and you fear the report that will be heard in the land, for the report will come 1 year, and after that another report in another year, and violence will be in the land, with ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, days are coming when I will punish the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land will be put to shame, and all her slain will fall in her midst. Then heaven and earth and all that is in them will shout for joy over Babylon, for the destroyers will come to her from the north, declares Yahweh. Indeed, Babylon is to fall for the slain of Israel, as also for Babylon the slain of all the earth have fallen. You who have escaped the sword, go, do not stand around. Remember Yahweh from afar, and let Jerusalem come upon your heart. We are ashamed because we have heard reproach. Dishonor has covered our faces, for strangers have entered the holy places of the house of Yahweh. Therefore, behold, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I will punish her graven images, and the mortally wounded will groan throughout her land. Though Babylon should ascend to the heavens, and though she should fortify her lofty stronghold, from me destroyers will come to her, declares Yahweh. The sound of an outcry from Babylon and of great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. For Yahweh is going to destroy Babylon, and he will make her loud noise vanish from her, and their waves will roar like many waters. The rumbling of their voices sounds forth. For the destroyer is coming against her, against Babylon, and her mighty men will be captured. Their bows are shattered, for Yahweh is a God of recompense. He will fully repay. I will make her princes and her wise men drunk, her governors, her prefects, and her mighty men, that they may sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake up, declares the King, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, the broad wall of Babylon will be completely razed, and her high gates will be set on fire, so the peoples will toil for nothing, and the nations become weary only for fire. The message which Jeremiah the prophet commanded Sariah, the son of Neriah, the grandson of Maaseiah, when he went with Zedekiah the king of Judah to Babylon in the 4th year of his reign. Now Sariah was quartermaster. So Jeremiah wrote in a single scroll all the calamity which would come upon Babylon, that is, all these words which have been written concerning Babylon. Then Jeremiah said to Sariah, as soon as you come to Babylon, then see that you read all these words aloud, and then you will say, you, O Yahweh, have promised concerning this place to cut it off, so that there will be nothing inhabiting it, whether man or beast, but it will be a perpetual desolation. And as soon as you finish reading the scroll, you will tie a stone to it and throw it into the middle of the Euphrates. And then you will say, just so shall Babylon sink down and not rise again because of the calamity that I am going to bring upon her, and they will become utterly weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. Now to chapter of 52. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did what was evil in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. For through the anger of Yahweh this came about in Jerusalem and Judah until he cast him out from his presence. And Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. Now it happened in the 9th year of his reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came, he and all his military force, against Jerusalem. And they camped against it and built a siege wall all around it. So the city came under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. On the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so strong in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city was breached, and all the men of war fled and went forth from the city at night by the way of the gate between the two walls, which was by the king's guard, though the Chaldeans were all around the city, and they went by way of the Arabah. But the military force of the Chaldeans pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho, and all his military force was scattered from him. Then they seized the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, and he spoke his judgment on him. Then the king of Babylon slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and he also slaughtered all the princes of Judah in Riblah. Then he blinded the eyes of Zedekiah, and the king of Babylon bound him with bronze fetters and brought him to Babylon and put him in prison until the day of his death. Now on the 10th day of the 5th month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the bodyguard who stood before the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. And he burned the house of Yahweh, the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, even every large house he burned with fire. So all the military force of the Chaldeans, who were with the captain of the guard, tore down all the walls around Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, took away into exile some of the poorest of the people. The rest of the people who remained in the city, the defectors who had defected to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the artisans. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had some of the poorest of the land remain to be vine dressers and plowmen. Now the bronze pillars which belonged to the house of Yahweh, and the stands and the bronze sea which were in the house of Yahweh, the Chaldeans shattered and carried all their bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, the shovels, the snuffers, the bowls, the pans, and all the bronze vessels which were used to minister. And the captain of the guard also took away the cups, the fire pans, the bowls, the pots, the lampstands, the pans, and the offering bowls, what was fine gold and what was fine silver, the 2 pillars, the 1 sea, and the 12 bronze bulls that were under the sea, and the stands which King Solomon had made for the house of Yahweh. The bronze of all of these vessels was beyond weight. As for the pillars, the height of each pillar was 18 cubits, and it was 12 cubits in circumference, and 4 fingers in thickness, and hollow. Now a capital of bronze was on it, and the height of each capital was 5 cubits. with network and pomegranates upon the capital all around, all of bronze. And the second pillar was like these, including pomegranates. There were 96 exposed pomegranates, all the pomegranates numbered 100 on the network all around. Then the captain of the guard took Sariah, the chief priest, and Zephaniah, the second priest, with the 3 doorkeepers of the temple. And from the city he took one official who was overseer of the men of war, and 7 of the king's advisors who were found in the city, and the scribe of the commander of the army who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the midst of the city. And Nebuchadnezzar, captain of the guard, took them and led them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. Then the king of Babylon struck them down and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah went into exile from its land. These are the people whom Nebuchadnezzar took away into exile in the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar, 832 persons from Jerusalem. In the 23rd year of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, took away into exile 745 Jewish people. There were 4,600 persons in all. Now it happened in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 25th of the month, that evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, lifted up the head of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, and brought him out of prison. And he spoke to him good words, and he set his throne above the throne of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiachin changed his prison clothes, and had his meals in the king's presence continually all the days of his life. For his allowance, a continual allowance was given him by the king of Babylon, a daily portion all the days of his life until the days of his death. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text. Now, our devotional reading. Your Lord has the power to do whatever he has purposed to do. What is your understanding of the power of God? Do you ever find yourself doubting what he is able to do? Do you ever wonder about his ability to deliver what he has promised? Do you ever question his power or authority over the world he has made? Do you think of him as sitting on his holy throne, reigning with power that not only is beyond our ability to grasp, but is without boundaries? How big is your God? At the end of the book of Jeremiah, God announces that he is going to destroy Babylon. This is a big boast. Babylon is the ruling nation of the world. No power on earth is like the power of this nation. Babylon rules with nation-crushing might. It seems as though Babylon can do anything it wants to do. So it is significant that God announces that he is going to raise up instruments to crush mighty Babylon forever. What power must God have to say that he will forever end the mighty reign of Babylon? God uses the occasion of his judgment of Babylon for self-revelation, not only to the people alive at the time, but to us as well. Throughout the Old Testament, God shows himself. He doesn't hide in the heavens. He doesn't close himself off from the creatures he has made. As you read through the Old Testament, it becomes clear that God wants to be known. So as God announces his judgment on Babylon, he assures us, lest we doubt or forget, that he has the power to do whatever he chooses to do with whomever he chooses to do it. Who is the one who has pronounced judgment against Babylon? It is he who made the earth by his power, who established the world by his wisdom, and by his understanding stretched out the heavens. When he utters his voice, there is tumult of waters in the heavens, and he makes the mist rise from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain, and he brings forth the wind from his storehouses. Every man is stupid and without knowledge. Every goldsmith is put to shame by his idols. For his images are false, and there is no breath in them. They are worthless, a work of delusion. At the time of their punishment, they shall perish. Not like these is he who is the portion of Jacob, for he is the one who formed all things, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Jeremiah chapter 51, verses 15 through 19. The judgment of Babylon is not difficult for one of such incorruptible power. The judgment of Babylon is not difficult for one of such incomparable power, whether it is the power to judge sin or the power to breathe life into those who are spiritually dead, granting them forgiveness forever. God has the power to do whatever he announces or promises he will do. Don't let your heart doubt his power. His power, coupled with his grace, is your hope. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text and the devotional. And we indeed do have a God who is all powerful, and he will do and he will accomplish what he says he will do. How powerful is your God this morning? Hope you have a blessed day. Soli Deo Gloria.